Assalamu alaikum, guys. This is Shah. For the last couple of weeks, I've been hearing a lot about the movie, the Kashmir Files. I've seen a lot of opinions, a lot of discussions about the movie. So I thought maybe I just wanted to speak something about the movie. Um, Not that it really matters, but I just wanted to give my 2 cents about the movie. As a Muslim, I think the movie is very important. The reason I'm saying this because this kind of movie is very important for the releasing the pressure. There's a lot of bottled up pressure, a lot of repressed emotion about a lot of people, about the exodus, the that the people, the Kashmiri Pandit people have left their family, their their houses, their homes in the 90s from Kashmir. So, from a religious perspective, I believe this movie is very important. As a Muslim, I think this movie is very important. The reason I'm saying this because uh, why why does a divorce happen between a man and woman, like a husband and wife? A divorce happens because uh, the husband and the wife stop talking with each other. They stop having a conversation. They stop accepting their mistakes, accepting stop taking blames. So it's basically that two parties they become too egoistic to accept their mistakes. So this is why divorce happens. So this is exactly happening in the two communities like Hindu and the Muslims. Unless you have a conversation about your mistakes without being egoistic or having no ego, that divorce gonna happen again and again, like a real marriage. So this kind of movie is very important for having a dialogue about that communal stuff. I've seen a lot of videos about the Kashmiri people. They went to watch the movie. I've seen a lady; she's crying because her family went through a lot in the 90s in the Kashmir because they had to leave their houses. So they have a lot of repressed emotions, and there's a lot of bottled up anger. And this kind of movie is like works like a therapist. So you release your pressure from inside your head for your repressed emotion. So I've seen a lot of people like Anupama Chopra, the reviewers. They don't want to review the movie because they think this kind of movie creates an environment for communal violence. But I think the reality is quite the different. This kind of movie is very important for having a dialogue about the stuff we don't want to talk about, or we think it's too controversial. So I appreciate this movie. But the one thing I want to say about the movie is I've seen a lot of people from both left wing and right wing are taking advantage of the movie for their own political agenda. Both, I'm saying both, not only left or not only right. Both of the spectrum having advantage of the movie. So this is something we should be very careful about. We should not let people take advantage of the movie because the movie is very important. Like, I'm talking about the content. The content is very important, but I have some what do you call reservation about the marketing of the movie. The director Vivek, I've seen they have been using the emotional outburst, or people are crying. The Kashmiri Pandit people they are crying, and outside of the theater after watching the movie, and the director and the movie producer they're using the emotions of the people who are crying, they're using as a marketing tool. They should not have done this. Also the director Vivek, using is like he's taking a dig at the establishment. Like he's talking against Anupama Chopra, he's talking against Kapil Sharma or Karan Johar. He's trying to sell us like this is an anti-establishment movie. So you don't have to do this. You have a very good movie. You don't have to have these cheap tricks to sell the movie. This is a very good movie. That's what I'm saying. Unless you accept your mistakes, you cannot stop the divorce. And I think it's a very welcoming movie. And I think the previous generation, the Muslim generation, I don't have any hope on them. I'm very hopeless about the older generation, like the people who are like 90s, 80s, or 70s. I don't have any hope. But the new generation Muslim kids, they are very welcoming. They are very open-minded. So I think this kind of movie is gonna have a very open dialogue about what happened in the 90s about with the people, Kashmir people. If you think there should be a movie on the Muslims who were oppressed in Kashmir, yeah, make a movie. Yeah, you're 100% make a movie. But that doesn't change the fact that Kashmir Files, the recent movie, is a very important movie. We can accept that mistakes from both parties happened, and we should accept that. This is how we can have a dialogue, or we can have a what do you call cohesion or togetherness. You can have a good conversation between the two communities. The unless you talk about this kind of repressed emotions always going to be there, and politicians and people like Anupama Chopra, they want to have your emotion repressed. They don't want you to talk about these things. So I welcome this kind of movie, and I hope the audience don't let both right wing and left wing people to have take advantage of this movie. Assalamu alaikum.